What is good, YouTube followers? It's your boy Amani, and we back with another market outlook. It's gonna be my first market outlook for you guys. Just really me behind the microphone and talking about yesterday. I kind of put some ideas out there. Kind of was just doing some silent analysis, showing you guys what I'm looking for. Kind of just depicting some of the things that played out. I know yesterday I was looking at GU, and if you guys go back to maybe within the first 10 minutes, I was looking in this key area down here. I was looking for long positions. Um, I saw how price had. I don't know why it's not wanting to circle. It's getting a little laggy on me. Price was just consolidating right here when we were at the stream yesterday. And what I had seen was overall, structure to me was bullish. We've been in a bullish trend to me. But what I had seen was right here in this structure, right in here. Yes, we are coming down, but at the same time, we created this resistance, you could say, this top floor resistance that price couldn't push above. But within this, so you had one low, and then you had another lower high, and then you had another lower high that was formed. But here, right in here in this structure, after we came down, we came back up through here and closed above here. So to that to me is signifying a strength. Strength was building in the market, even though we capped off right here. Price couldn't make itself go back up. We were still in a bullish trend at that point. And then if we look at session timings, for me, I'm not trying to enter the market around this time. Because realistically, I mean, for me, 1600 is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So realistically, that's 7 p.m. Eastern. So session time, and really this is Asian session. Going. So markets really isn't a time that you want to be in the market realistically around in here. And so if I'm looking to go long at this point, I'm waiting for the retest down in here. And if we look some more at key evidence, so this would have been my low of obviously my lower high, because this was my last all-time previously lower high. We broke this structure right in here. So then that gives you another sign that we're going bullish. That when I say bullish, that means price is going up. Man, this thing is lagging on me. It's kind of frustrating. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let me get back to it. So this was the low down here. Low down here. Closed above here. That means you want to take, if it's closing above here, especially on the 1 hour time frame, you're gonna want to be looking for a buy, especially after you've just seen this big move to the upside after closing above here. Once you've closed above here, you can now tell yourself, timing in the market is everything. So when we made this low right in here, if you look at the timing, that's 1 2 a.m. This is London session, and so the London session is a big trading time. So I would be looking for price to push from here. It's definitely in an area of interest for me because I'm at that last lower high of the range. So the last lower high, and when price is on an uptrend, we're making higher lows and higher highs. If it's gonna write it for me, higher low. So this is a higher low, right? Higher high. This is a lower high, higher low, because it's within this range. So it's higher than this low, but lower than this high. So this would be a lower high in this range, but when you understand market structure and how things move, you would understand what's going on because you've identified your range. Um, but like I said, so this was the point that for me yesterday when I saw this happening, it gave me more of confluence that I saw this resistance here. So I saw a lot of people thinking this idea right in here: sell, 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 sell. But there's almost so much selling pressure that the markets can do, because if everything is just selling, at some point, if you're selling it, price is reducing, at some point the sale is going to end. So you gotta always be understanding, the market moves in waves, like I've always said. So understand when that wave is ended. And to me, when I see multiple people selling off, selling off, selling off, selling off, they're gonna give people time to buy price back up, right? To come back over here, so which we already did. We've already cleared this off. This is my first time back on the charts to really see my markups from yesterday, and we cleared out this area over here. So if you go back to yesterday's recording, obviously you would see some of this price action that I was kind of depicting. I wasn't talking, so it might be a little bit harder for you guys to see. I was kind of break testing here, trying to go long at first, but then I said, oh, price was failing to break up. But what I failed to realize, kind of what I was, when I go back and see the session timing, when I was making my market analysis down here, I was correct to say, price, was closing, above this right here. So that gives me more sign after we've already broke structure here first. Then we came down, closed above this in this area, which means obviously a lower high, meaning if a lower high was created, so this is it's our a higher low was created, this is a high, and this high is bigger than this low right here. So this is higher low. I'm going to want price to make a higher high. So I'm going to want it to break this last higher high. So what did we do? We did break it, and we broke everything in this range right here. So now this is the new high of the range. So really what I would be doing now, clearing my charts. But you can always clear your charts. You can always restart. It's not bad to restart. I'm going to go to 4-hour chart too. Whew. Look at that. Look at that range. Wow. 4-hour high. We made an all-time high. Okay. Well, not all-time high, but 4-hour structure high. And this 4-hour structure high. If we look at it, first thing off the bat, what I see, we made a high, you know. Obviously, structurally, we're closing above here. You see this? We're closing above this line. So for me, structure on a 4-hour time frame, which is a high time frame, so it has higher probability. The higher the time frame, the higher the probability of your trade will play out. So since we've closed above there, what I'm first going to do is grab this fib retracement tool, and I'm going to go off my last higher low. So I'm going to put price from the bottom to the top. So anywhere in here, in these lines, essentially, is where you're wanting to get in the market. Now, obviously, the first price point is 50%. So 50%, you could say, is equilibrium to getting into the market. For me, 50% in this area is ideal. Just the fact that, you know, we did just take out all this liquidity in here, and for people that just don't understand liquidity, pretty much it's just money. Liquidity is money. Money all up in here. People that were selling down, they're just you just pretty much got their money taken away, because what happened? Everybody was selling here, selling here, selling here, selling here, selling here. What happened here? Price reversed very quickly. You see how long it took us to sell from here all the way down here? But how quickly we came all the way back up to the top? Is that strange to you? That's what we call sweeping liquidity. There are so many people selling, and if there's so many people selling it, like I said, how long can they sustain that? How long can people keep selling something before it needs to be bought back up? Price was overly discounted, right? So they needed to buy price back up so they could sell it again. So with that being said, this fib retracement tool gives you an idea of where price can return to at a discounted level. So this 50% is almost just like the equilibrium 50% of this move. So 50% halfway back would be in this area, which I do like to see, you know, as I trade for like imbalances, you know, open areas in the market where price hasn't done what it's done here, you know, kind of just chopped around. This is an imbalance where there was nothing that happened here, you know. But realistically, I would like to target down in here. I would like to be looking in the 71 to 78 8 spot to get into the market. And so from there, I'm gonna, you know, investigate more. I'm gonna drop down into the 1-hour time frame from there. Kind of look what happened within price action when we were in that area. You know, obviously we did close above. Like we've already talked about, this was already swept. This liquidity is gone. Here. So this right here is your last higher low, right? This thing just took off. I honestly think this thing might just come back to this 50% area. I really do think that. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, sometimes when you look at trades and you look how market structure is working at the moment, sometimes there's only so much analysis you can do. For me at the moment, you know, I kind of want to see what price action is developing. As you can see, kind of price action obviously made that high right here. You know, it's trying to make a lower high right here, because right here, if we break below here, retest up here, And if we close below here again, I'm going to now be looking to short to come down in this area. But if we fail to close below this line, so if price comes down here but then ends up starting to go back up, I'm going long. So that's what we need to look for, and I want to get at least an hour closure before I start hopping into the lower time frames. So that's kind of it for me on GU. I'm extremely bullish. I do not want to be selling it. Obviously, price does have to sell down at some point before price can really expand back higher to the upside. But for the time being, I'm kind of just letting it be. Euro USD, same thing. Yesterday, really wasn't looking too much. I was trying to see what was going to happen with Euro USD. As you can see, price did return back to this imbalance that I had marked up previously. If you go back to the recording as well, kind of see how I was looking in this area to take a trade. When I went down to like the 5-minute time frame, when price got into my area of interest, I just wasn't comfortable just the way price action was developing. It just didn't give me, my confirmations, my checklist to enter the market. So sometimes like that, you just have to sit on your hands and just let the trade go. As you can see, it did what it was supposed to. Kind of just came right down into that area. And then reversed out, gave me that sign because it broke structure here. I was hoping that after it broke structure here, it was going to retest in this area before starting to push back up. Obviously, price did not do that for me. As you can see today, kind of just rolled around in here, came out. We just took out all this liquidity in here. Price rapidly has just been dropping, came right back into that area that I wanted, kind of, as I said, to retest this structure. As you can see, price kind of gave you that falling knife again, move that it did over here. Because like I said, price always repeats kind of what it does. Why can't I draw an arrow? Just like it did over here, price did it over here. So I'm looking in this area. Price did break structure again. So I'd like to see something like this to maybe take it back up higher, up into here, before probably taking it back down again, and then riding this wave one more time to the upside. So that's just, a little future planning. Very quick synopsis because I'm just extremely bullish on Euro and GU. As you can see, the reasoning for that would be here. If we look at the dollar index, I like to use the dollar index almost just like as an indicator because the US dollar currency index just shows you, really, how we're doing realistically, economical wise, and people understood what's going on economically. You'd think that, everything's opening back up, but what is price doing right now? It's trending down. If we look at structure, right, before this right here is Corona, right? This is Corona. This is Corona. But coming up to Corona, what we're doing, the dollar was getting strong, right? Dollar got strong. October 19. For some reason, price went bearish, right? Tried to go up. What happened? Corona hit. Everything sank. But then what happened? Everything went back up, right? But what did we do? We just took out a lot of liquidity. So what I'm seeing right now is kind of scary. Because we made a low and then we made a high, right? But what happened? We broke structure. And just like I always say, once you break structure, you want to come back up. But a lot of people saw this. They saw this in June. They thought this happened. They saw this. We made a low. We closed. Oops. Low. Right. Right in here. If I can draw. Closed above here. Closed above here. What do people think? If you made a low, a lower high, remember, that means price has to make another high. But what happened? What happened right here in June? End of June, we did this. Everything in here was showing us that, price made a low, lower high, higher low, lower high. We closed below this last little high that we made over here. And then what have we been doing since? We've been falling down. And what just happened? Just today. Well, a couple days. The 16th is really when we did it. But now we're actually clearing out this area right down here. The body of the candles did close, which that means structure-wise, you would say it's going down. But now it's really confirming, the dollar is going weaker, which means Euro USD would be going bullish. GDP USD would be going bullish. So we're definitely in some interesting times. It's definitely something to be aware of. As you can see, digital dollar is starting to be on the rise. Definitely something to be aware of. My Bitcoin enthusiasts out there, it's definitely something to be aware of and see what's kind of going on. Dow Jones, I had a bearish mindset coming into the day yesterday. We did get a small retracement to the downside like I wanted on the video, but I was looking for a further downside target. But as we can see, I kind of wanted price yesterday was supposed to pull up into this area and then sell back down. Sorry, this was my trading range. So how I had saw price is this is where price was at when I was making my market analysis. What I had wanted price to do was come up into this area like it did, sell off, but I wanted to come back down into this area. That's what I had, anticipated or predicted price to do, because I kind of wanted to see price kind of come down and fill this lab areas down here that needed to be filled, and then down here that needed to kind of come back to. But at the same time, I don't move the market. The market does what it wants when it does, when it wants to. So if I have to sit there and explain, oh, I think the market's going to come down today, there's no way that, I'm over here telling the market to move. I don't have millions and billions of dollars in my account to be able to move the market. No. But what do? We have to sit on our hands and wait for price to give us, that evidence. And there's some days you're going to be right, some days you're going to be wrong. And, I could say I was right for just, just a little bit of a short period of time. I was right for a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. So if I would have capitalized, and normally I would have already put my stops at break even, so I wouldn't have lost money at this point, because price would have just reversed, and I wouldn't have lost money. Essentially, I would have just not made money. But price kind of just reversed, back up into this area of resistance that I have. So I kind of want to see price. I'm probably thinking by the New York session kind of make its way up into here. And I kind of want to see what price is going to do. It's either, obviously has two ways that it can do. It can either roll over and kind of push back down to the downside, how I was expecting price to. Uh, so we'll kind of just see and wait for that sign. But to me, when I look at price action, right here, we broke structure again, and now we're just kind of coming up to retest. So I want to, like it is doing right now, this for meat to get in to go back down. So we'll kind of just see how price kind of just plays out tomorrow. I'm kind of working on my YouTube stream and everything to kind of be clear for you guys. But it's definitely definitely a work in progress. But this is something I enjoy doing, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm the best trader, but it's definitely some time that I put in and work, and it's not gonna come overnight. But it's definitely something that they say if you grow passion, you never work a day in your life, and so I truly feel like that statement is true. But it's something that if you're doing what you want to do, then you won't really mind putting in the work or spending that time to research anything that goes on. So for me, just it brings a lot of excitement, a lot of opportunity that I know could potentially set me up in the future to be able to bless and help others.